Alrighty, so first I'm just going to walk through the level, or play through it, and then I'll explain my design choices after. It's a little hard to concentrate on both at the same time. It would help if I could beat the level, wouldn't it? Oh! Rib. Alright. What? Alright. So, that is the entire level. So, initially my design choices were, first I wanted to create two paths. I wanted to create one for casual gamers and one for speedrunners. But that was an issue coming up with something that could be really easy for speedrunners or really like technically challenging while still a shorter level and while having casual players who can enjoy the level. So my first choice was to make an opening right here. So you can jump off here and go this way. It's really hard to do that. And I'm not mechanically skilled enough with this keyboard to do that. So usually I just take the long way because it still ends up being faster if you can just book it and just run the entire time. So you essentially run here, wall jump up, and then try to minimize your jump height. Run here, jump, same thing. Now as soon as you get to this point, the first saw will have shot. And basically it's perfect timing where if you're too slow or you're too fast, you're going to get wiped out either here or right as you're coming up the edge. So basically you have to hit it in the perfect timing. So you come up here, you jump over the first saw. The punishing part is the next saw, which is lined up exactly in this gap. So as you jump over both of the saws at this spot and this spot shoot at the same time. So as soon as you jump here and you jump over this one, as soon as you make it to this point, another saw is supposed to hit you, which if you're timing it right, you can usually avoid it. But since this saw isn't in the wall, you can run into it and die as well. So it's really challenging for casual players, but people who are technically savvy with and mechanically savvy with the controls for this game don't find it that difficult. So basically side wall jump up here, another one for the same timing, but this one's a lot easier to hit, a drop, and then the hardest part of the level. So these two saws are timed to go off at the same time, so they both shoot along the side, and then there's a bandage that you can optionally pick up here. It's very hard to pixel fall and land on the bandage without hitting these saws. If you hit the bandage and the saws are already out, that means you have a 1 block gap right here to jump between them, which is extremely hard to do. So you have to time your jump very well. And last but not least, you just jump up here. This section here, I'm decided to make it only 1 block tall because it made it a lot harder to grab onto. So if you screw up while you're jumping and you jump too high, you could jump the other way and then fall back down. Or if you jump too late, you can just hit here and you're just going to die by the next saw that comes out, pretty much. And changes from the last iteration. So a lot of what the feedback I got was decided based on light world versus dark world, where you have low number of traps versus lots of traps. And I would say this goes in a light world, but I would say this is farther along in the game because there are quite a significant number of timing traps, which are one, really frustrating for the average player. A casual player is not going to be able to like just do this level in the first like 10-15 minutes of them playing it. It'll take them try after try, and as they learn like the timing for each gap, they'll get better. So they basically get stuck at each timing point, and once they figure it out, they get stuck at the next timing point. So overall you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 timing points, about maybe 6 if you include this jump here. So nothing much really changed from the first part of the level. Originally, I thought about changing the timings on these two, so one would shoot at a different time. But after testing it out, it was actually really hard, and it actually lost you seconds having to avoid one or the other, having to jump over initially, or having to do an extra jump in the level. And that's basically my level.